Goals is for people to leave the show going, hey, that guy was funny and he was Iranian and he didn't throw a rock or try and take us hostage, or wow, that's kind of interesting.
Persian, like the cat, meow.
We are so excited. Our exclusive interview with funny man Maz Jobrani. Stick around because Central Valley Today begins right now. Coming up next on Central Valley Today, Monique Soltani's exclusive interview with Maz Jobrani. This is going to be so good. You guys have to stick around for this. We'll be right back.
First question, just tell me your first and last name just for the camera.
Oh, forget it. Look at this. That didn't work as well as we planned. I was smiling when it happened. Thank you.
From The Interpreter with Sean Penn and Nicole Kidman to his groundbreaking show on Comedy Central, actor/comedian Maz Jobrani has a resume most performers dream of. And on March 14th, Maz Jobrani brings his solo stand-up show to the Central Valley. But before he takes the stage, he sat down with me at the Acme Comedy Theater in Hollywood, giving me the inside scoop on everything from stereotypes to almost missing his Tonight Show moment.
Now please welcome Maz Jobrani.
All right, hi, how are you? My name is Maz Jobrani. I'm part of the Axis of Evil comedy tour. It's kind of like the Blue Collar comedy tour, but with Middle Eastern comics. You know, they have like get her done. We say get it done, my friend. That's pretty much it. I'm the Iranian of the group. Thank you very much. No problem. He goes, ladies and gentlemen, Maz Jobrani. I started walking out. As I'm walking out, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my hands? So I had that one moment where I was like, hey, how's everybody doing? All right, good to be here. And then I went into it, but then I relaxed and had a good time.
For Maz Jobrani, the road to The Tonight Show started with stepping on this stage nearly 10 years ago.
I was working in an ad agency, and it was the moment I decided to really get back into acting and go for it 100%. And I took classes here, and it was great. It's, you know, got a chance to really create some characters here. You know, when you go to YouTube, there's a birthday dance I do, which is I like strip down into my Speedos.
Can we get a little preview of that right now?
Happy birthday, ching, 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 ching.
If his name isn't familiar, his face should be. If there's a Middle Eastern role on the big or small screen, Maz has probably played it.
The Iranian accent is very slow. They talk like this, how are you, everything. Then the Arabic accent is very fast. They talk, how are you, ahlan wa sahlan, kif halak. You know, I do a whole thing about Zinedine Zidane, the Frenchman. You talk it like this. You know, the Italian, Materazzi. You know, there's all kinds of accents and stuff.
In Hollywood, Maz has worn many hats and turbans.
And I showed up and they were like, here's your shirt, here's your pants, here's your turban. And I was supposed to be this guy that was an Afghan in America. And I was like, well, Afghans in America don't wear turbans. And they were like, this is a Chuck Norris movie, you know, just put on the stupid turban. You know, so I put on the stupid turban. And I just felt like an idiot.
At this point in his career, Maz doesn't have to put on anything he doesn't want to.
I said, no more. I said, I'm done, you know. You know, the thing is, if you want to see Middle Easterners depicted like that, all you got to do is turn on the news. You know, there's, you know, one movie a year at least that comes out like that. And I think that the problem is that a majority of Middle Easterners aren't that. The majority of Middle Easterners are good people. You know, there's a lot of great cultural things that we have that aren't depicted. And I'm trying as much as I can to go that route. And so, you know, I was saying, joking, I was like, I just want to play a bank robber once who's not Middle Eastern or even if he's Middle Eastern, if he's a bank robber and just using a gun to rob somebody, I'm like, all right, that's cool. It's a bank robber. But it's always got to be a terrorist. I'm like, can't I just be a bad guy who's not a terrorist? I would love to do that. You know, I'd love to play a serial killer. Let me be Hannibal Lecter, but, you know, not Middle Eastern. Maybe he's just some guy, whatever, my ethnicity, whatever. I could be something.
He's an ethnically ambiguous Hannibal Lecter.
Or better yet, you know what? I don't mind even being Middle Eastern and being Hannibal Lecter. As long as I don't then, like, you know, hijack people. I'm like, you know, it's one thing to, like, eat them. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather eat people than hijack people in a movie. That's what I'm trying to say.
For Maz, playing a terrorist isn't a laughing matter.
It just feels icky. It does. In the end, you feel like you kind of sold out, you know.
But the axis of evil is.
And at one point, the name Axis of Evil was thrown out. And we thought, what better way to make fun of that term than to put the word comedy behind it? If you look at any of our postcards and publicity photos and stuff, it's the, you know, us smiling and it says Axis of Evil above it. And the idea was to humanize these people that were categorized in that way, and also to present Middle Easterners in a positive light. So it's been great. You know, last year we premiered on Comedy Central. I think it was the first time there was an all Middle Eastern cast or group on an American television show. We premiered as comedians. We weren't terrorists. We were doing something breaking that stereotype.
When Maz isn't on the road with the Axis of Evil comedy tour, he's soloing shows around the globe, making a stop right here in the Central Valley.
In Fresno, I'm going to be solo. I'm actually bringing this other young Iranian comedian up, which is part of what I'm trying to do too, is, you know, let other young guys that are, it's funny because when I first started out, there was like 2 of us, you know, and now there's like 10, 15, 20 guys. You're like, oh, that's pretty cool.
From 2 to 20, that's a start. And Maz hopes to do his part to change the way Middle Easterners are depicted in the media.
The other thing I've tried to do is I've tried to write. We're actually pitching a TV show that I think CBS might be buying, that, you know, a sitcom about an Iranian living in LA with his family, and, you know, he's being pulled by his tradition in one way, and he's being pulled by the outside world in another way. And it's a sitcom. It's like Everybody Loves Raymond, but with an Iranian guy. And part of the reason why I keep saying I don't want to do those negative parts, those terrorist parts, is because, you know, a lot of Italians complain about The Sopranos, but they had Everybody Loves Raymond. They had something to counter it. We don't have the Everybody Loves Raymond. We have a lot of negative stereotypes.
They may not have Raymond, but these days everybody loves Maz. But for a stand-up comedian, the true test of success starts with stepping on the Tonight Show stage.
It's funny because as a comedian, you try and be nonchalant about a lot of stuff because you're like, yeah, that's just another step. And I really went there kind of with a nonchalant feeling, but then the closer we got to the airtime and everything, I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing the Tonight Show. And it was really cool, you know, and Jay Leno was really nice, and my mom was there. And
a moment Maz almost missed.
they go, listen, we've got a date booked for you, but we might need you tomorrow because this like Olympic swimmer is supposed to be here. He hasn't confirmed. So we're going to call you 9 a.m. Just be ready, just in case. I said, all right, I'm ready. So they call me 9 a.m. and go, well, the swimmer isn't going to do it, and neither are you. And I was like, oh, okay, what happened? And they go, well, Sanjaya from American Idol just lost the night before, so we're having Sanjaya on. I was like, I got bumped by Sanjaya? I got bumped by Sanjaya. Yeah, pretty bad.
Making your mark on Tinseltown can be a rocky road, but Maz Jobrani beat the odds. He's an actor who's actually working in Hollywood.
I was like, just once can it be another religion? Just once can it be like a Buddhist or something? Just once? But then I thought about it, I was like, well, it's never going to be a Buddhist, because the Buddhists, they live in the moment. A Buddhist would be like, I was going to blow myself up, but that moment is gone.
Do you feel like it went over well?
Yeah, I thought, I'm proud of that set. Yeah.
And if you would like to find out more about Maz, you can always visit his website at mazjobrani.com. And as I mentioned earlier, Maz is coming to Fresno for one night only. His stand-up show is tomorrow night at the Islamic Cultural Center of Fresno. Now, this event is completely sold out. There's a big old waiting list, but now you can win the only 2 tickets left in town. All you got to do is be caller number 24 to 455-2294 right now. Caller number 24 wins a ticket to see Maz Jobrani's solo show tomorrow night. Very excited. I can't even get tickets. So we've got a lot coming up next on Central Valley Today. I'm going to have all the rest of your entertainment news. Janet Jackson, she calls in sick to SNL. Find out who's taking the stage in her place. We'll be right back.